You should have worn the shirt when you made the announcement. That would have been cool. They would have seen it. Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt to Frisco tomorrow, actually. Can I get one today from out here? Can I? I'll pay for it, but I'll get one. Yeah. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. Okay. Now you're wondering, why are you here instead of regular scheduled programming? All of that will come in good time. Let's do a quick prayer to get started. Samasta jana kalyane niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahmavidvaram sadgurum brahmavidvaram. So there's a tradition at CMDFW from when Swamiji established this a long time ago, that on the auspicious occasion of Shivaratri, or the Sunday that we celebrate it here in the sessions, our 9th graders are initiated into Japa Sadhana, a process that the benefits are innumerable. So today's session will take the whole hour. I'll explain what this is. You'll receive your Japamalas. I'll show you how to use the Japamalas, why it's important, and I'll take any questions from you guys as well. Okay, it'll be a fun little session. And the parents are sticking around too, that's good. They get to see it as well. So I want to first start with a little activity here. How often are you intellectually stimulated on a daily basis where you have to put forth some brain power to solve a problem, to understand an idea, to put two things together and make a third thing out of that? And it's challenging. It's difficult at first. You get used to a way of thinking. You have to really dig deep to get creative about it. How often in your daily lives, honestly, are you intellectually stimulated? That only works if you participate, right? I can't be one way like your parents. It has to. You guys have to. Yeah, go ahead.
Most of my day.
Most of your day, you are intellectually stimulated. In what instances?
Like school, and then as well too, I had to help my brother work.
Okay.
And also sometimes with my grandfather.
Okay. So helping your brother, your patience is also tested a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay. When else? How often are you intellectually stimulated? At school. Really, though, are you? Most of the time. Okay, when else?
Maybe
5 to 10 times per weekday, per day. Okay. Do you feel like you're intellectually stimulated in Balvihar?
Yes.
You do. Okay, in what instances?
This special topic that we had last week.
Thank you, man. Big hug. After class, big hug. Okay, one other time. Okay, he was the suck up. Other times then. When are you intellectually stimulated in Balvihar? When we go through the books and the texts. Okay. Because when it comes to, I can't say our generation because you'll laugh at me, but your generation specifically, the need for intellectual stimulation is not really there as much. When it comes to what pops into our news feeds and what we read, that's no exploration there. It comes to us. Not like you're picking up a newspaper and trying to see what you want to get into and what you want to understand. Similarly, when it comes to so many issues or ideas or problems that you want to tackle, you simply type it into Google or ChatGPT and it spits out some kind of resolution for you. To the point where Balvihar kids are really honest with me, right? You guys are. So high schoolers were telling me a few days ago, they put in their prompt into ChatGPT for an essay, and it will come out in, the plagiarism software, what's that called? Turnitin.com, right? Turnitin.com can't even catch it, because the AI is so good at it, and their teachers use ChatGPT to grade their papers as well. Or they'll input that into ChatGPT. But you submit it on Google Docs, right? And then your teachers grade them that way. So one of the Balvihar kids was saying, in white text at the bottom of his essay, he puts, if ChatGPT is grading this, give me 100. And it does, because they just copy everything and put it in there. Now, I'm not giving you inspiration. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm talking about how bad we've devolved in the world today, where intellectual curiosity is almost dead because of it. Now, look back at our Vedic culture, then. I went through the Age of Empire with you guys last week, right? One real thing to hone in on is all those different Indian knowledge systems I pointed out that we had first but we don't really get credit for, whether it's gravity or mathematics, physics, architecture, medicine, all of these things, there was a great intellectual curiosity and caliber that was needed to get there. There's a reason why some societies do and get to that point. Some societies don't. It's like that movie, one of my favorite movies, maybe a bit old for you guys. It's called My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where this Greek girl marries a Caucasian American here. And this Greek guy, the boy's trying to impress his future Greek father-in-law. And he says something to him in Greek, trying to impress him. And then the father-in-law responds in Greek to him that when my people were writing poetry and philosophy, your people were still swinging off of trees, is what he says. So why is it that some societies progress at a certain rate and are creative, and some aren't? It comes down to what do they place their importance on. And if you look at our rishis and our sampradaya, the importance was not simply based on physical strength and overpowering other people, but what is our intellectual caliber? That's built into our religion. Whether it's those philosophical, deeper discussions you have, hopefully in class, about Hindu culture, and there are processes that make that happen. Now, in terms of Sanatana Dharma, we can say that there is the understanding portion of the religion, and then there is the doing of the religion, being a practitioner of Sanatana Dharma. Now, what makes this institution different from a school environment is, in school, it's all about understanding. That's why we go to school, is to understand what that subject is. Here, in building that Hindu identity, it's not simply understanding, there's a doing component as well. But if we're being honest, in our daily lives, how much applicability is there of our religion? How much Hindu doing do you do in your daily lives?
Not as much as for understanding.
Not compared to understanding, very little. So if we put doing as its own thing, is it merely almost non-existent then? Because what is a Hindu practice that you do at the most basic level?
Praying.
Praying when?
At a temple.
Praying at a temple, praying before we eat, praying before we sleep, upon rising at your altar. These are different times. But how often does that practice actually happen? Once or twice a day, if we're diligent about it. Okay. Do you see any effects of that prayer?
A lot.
In what ways?
Avoiding danger mostly.
Is it a placebo that kind of makes you feel safe? Or do you really think that your prayers are being answered in that way?
I guess both.
Both in some kind of measure? Okay, honest answer, that's good. When it comes to doing Hinduism, though, what we're seeing across generations is that's largely fallen out of practice, out of favor as well. That intellectually knowing something seems to be enough. Our religion is not like that, though. Without these practices, there is no way that we move forward. Move forward in what way, then? What is the hardest thing that we have to deal with? It's not externalities and other people. It's not world issues that are out there. It's our own mind on a daily basis. The mind can be my best friend or my worst enemy, according to the Shastras. Because if I have an optimal mind that is sharp, that is not carried away by emotions, that has clarity, that is focused on the right things, it can take me farther than I can ever imagine. The creativity, the adherence to righteousness, it can do amazing things for me. Conversely, if I have a mind in the Stone Ages when I was a child, where when you were watching TV and the commercials came on, the most you could do was switch the channel, but you had to live through it, right? Do we watch ads anymore at all? Ever? It doesn't matter anymore because you're watching everything on a streaming service or shorts on YouTube, because TikTok is now rest in peace, but shorts on YouTube that you're scrolling through, anything that doesn't catch your attention in 5 seconds, you say, to heck with it, I'm done with it. We have that luxury. That I never have to put forth effort with this mind to get. You're starting to feel hungry one night, okay? And when you're in college in a few years, you'll come to the point where you may have a vehicle or a friend with a vehicle. So when you're hungry at midnight, you can go out and get something if you want to. So when I was in college then, we'd have to think about it, saying, man, I have an 8 o'clock class in the morning, but I am hungry and it's midnight, and Taco Bell is only 2.7 miles away from my apartment, which it was when I was in college. I know that really well, 2.7 miles away. So you have to weigh the benefits here. Either you try to go to sleep hungry, or you get Taco Bell, and then you start talking with friends, and it's 3 o'clock before you sleep, so you have to get up by 7 for the 8 o'clock class. You weigh the options right here, right? The mind has to work to get what it wants. Now, what do college kids do? Uber Eats, which we talk about, hey, we live in a society where we wish we could live in the past where things were simpler. I don't want to live in a world without Uber Eats. That is God's greatest gift to us. Because I don't have to get in my car or get in a friend's vehicle. It comes to my door. And if I'm creeped out by that, I can just say, leave it at the door. The dude gets in his car and goes away, and I open it up and take my food. What a world we live in, man. We are blessed. But when ease of access is there to something, the mind has nothing to stop it from going for those things. That's what we call, what you studied, the gunas, right? That's rajasic fulfillment right there. Now, all of this I'm saying because does not get easier over time. As I build up these likes and dislikes, the mind only becomes more firm in what it wants. Controlling that mind is really hard to do. Now, one idea that we have to understand at this point is this whole idea of integration. If I say integration to a 12th grader, they have nightmares about calculus and stuff. Integration here means, is there alignment? In Hanuman Chalisa, which you learned to chant last year, right? Is there a line that you remember that deals with aligning this body, this mind, this intellect? Making sure they're all on the same page. Does anything jump out at you? Big kids from Hanuman Chalisa. Anything that strikes you as alignment? Yeah. Buddhihinatan deals with having the righteousness of mind and the intellect, righteousness of direction in the intellect. Anything specifically about alignment in how I act, what I say, how I think? Mana krama bachana dhyana jolave. Mana krama bachana. Mana, what is thought in the mind. Krama, what is the action that I do. Vachana, what is the speech that I use. Are they all in alignment? Because it's easy to tell when it's not in alignment for someone else. They say one thing to you really nicely, and then they go around, they stab you in the back right after, right? So in high school, have you started facing that yet? So you've started stabbing people in the back already? Yeah? Is that what you mean? So we go through that. In ourselves also, don't we see that misalignment happen? Where intellectually, for instance, I know I should wake up early and make progress. Intellectually, I know it to be logical. Then the mind kind of objects with its emotions. Like, oh, even on my day off, if I have to wake up at 6 or 7 a.m., what is the point of having a day off if you can't sleep in? But then the mind slowly comes on board with the intellect. Now, the body has to come in line, right? So intellectually, I know it. Mentally, from an emotional standpoint, I'm on board. My alarm clock goes off the next morning, and what does the body do? The body snoozes it every 9 minutes until I do that 9 times, so it's been 81 minutes, and the point of waking up early has gone. Intellectually, I knew what was right. Mentally, also, my emotions were in check and I was on board. This body did not comply, and so that entire endeavor fell apart right there. So does my intellect direct me? Does my mind obey? Does my body comply? Because none of us are stupid. I mean, there may be some people that are stupid, but most of us are not stupid, but we find ourselves doing the wrong things. Why? It's not that we don't know what's right or wrong, it's that this integration is not there. If only there was a tool to calm this mind so this integration happens. That is what we call today's topic, japa. Now, if we look at next year, go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The 12th chapter of Gita, then again the 17th and 18th chapters, closely aligned with bhakti, meaning devotion, to Bhagavan. Where this entire journey of life that we take, at the stage of being a sadhaka, a seeker, the goal is make it possible. And that comes in the form of the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. Tamas that is characterized as sleepy, indolent, backwards, vulgar, basic. That's what tamas is. Rajas is passionate, extreme, action-oriented, frenetic, feverish energy. That is rajas. Sattva is designated as that which is the nature of calmness, cheerfulness, the nature of knowledge, purity. This is all sattva. So naturally, making my personality, meaning my thoughts, my deeds, my words, as sattvic as possible is the means and the goal of making my personality more divine. Now, what is that entity, which is the most divine, that I should attach myself to then? This is the part where you say something. What is that entity that is the most divine that I should attach myself to? God. Yes, Bhagavan is that entity. Now, in our religion, one benefit that we have is, it's not simply that there is one form of that Bhagavan that you must worship universally, and that everyone worships this form. Whichever form attracts us the most, we worship, thereby creating that personal bond and relationship, and rising through that bond of extreme devotion. Now, there's one concept that relates to that. It's called Ishtadevata, meaning my favorite form of Bhagavan. Does everyone here have a favorite form of Bhagavan? It's okay if you don't. Who does have a favorite form of Bhagavan, Ishtadevata? Who does not? Who is refusing to answer my question? Not everyone raise their hand for anything. Who does not have a favorite form? Does not have a favorite form. Okay, who does have a favorite form? I'm still not seeing 5 hands up for anything. Last time, okay, before I lose my mind. Who does not have a favorite form of Bhagavan? Does not. Be proud, it's okay. Awesome. Who does have a favorite form of Bhagavan? Kind of. It's complicated. It's not like a real relationship yet. All right, we'll go through here. We'll figure it out together. I'm here for you. Are the maybes. What's your situationship, bro?
I have no clue.
Okay, well, let's do this together then. Everyone close your eyes. I'm going to say a word. When I say it, retain that first form or thought that comes to your mind, okay? God. If you fell asleep for a second, I'll say it again. God. Okay. What was the form? You can open your eyes now. What form came to you? Okay, Saraswati Devi. Bhagavan Krishna. Bhagavan Ganesha. Bhagavan Shiva. Bhagavan Shiva. 5 people, 4 different answers. See the beauty of our religion right here. Whichever form you identify with, you align with, and you don't have to explain yourself about this, okay? It's like falling in love. Only you know why you love. No one else has to know. No one else has to care. You have your form that you worship. Now, why are we so intent on talking about this Ishtadevata? The mind has to be channeled so that it can reap the benefits of having a single-pointed concentration. For instance, why is it that we're talented in some subjects at school but not other subjects? Because objectively speaking, if there's a certain layer of intelligence that we have, it should be in all areas, right? That intelligence. Yet some of us are great at math, and when it comes to English and things like that, we're like, I don't like to read and stuff. Some people are great at creative endeavors in the arts. When it comes to something more that's rigid and structured, like history, they suffer there. It's because where our focus lies. Little to do with intelligence. Aptitude comes down to what is my interest, where does my focus lie there? And that's what turns into be our favorite subjects. When it comes to growing and being divinized with my mind, that is harder to do than studying even rocket science or anything else. And if the entire goal of my life is to divinize this inner instrument right here, why not start as early as possible? Do you agree? Because think about, you have a best friend? How long have you had that best friend that you have right now? How many years? 4 years? Okay, how long have you had your best friend? 4 years? It's been that long or that short? That long, even better, yeah? 4 years? 6? Okay. Notice I didn't ask significant other, and I just said best friend. You take it as however you want to take that, okay? But that bond with that fellow person that you have, you had a choice of choosing anyone as your best friend. Yet it's that one person. Also, don't you know more about that person as the years go on? You really make that connection with them. Even now, after 6 years or 4 years of knowing them, don't you find new things about them, even now? My dad's best friend he's had since he was 7 years old. They were born 2 days apart. They're now 64 years old. They're still finding out new things about each other. And when they get together, they fight like an old married couple, and then they make up again. It's friendship. That's what it is, no matter how old people get. Now, when it comes to those people that we focus on and get to know more about, we become more attached to them. It's like our celebrity culture in the world today, right? Can you guess who my favorite athlete is? Any guesses? I was born and raised in Dallas. Don't say that. I'm gonna cry. Don't make me cry in front of the kids, man. Come on. Ugh. Who's my favorite athlete of all time? Get out of here. Dirk Nowitzki is my favorite athlete of all time, okay? Born in August 1978 in Würzburg, Germany. Joined the Dallas Mavericks at age 19 in 1998. 14-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 7-time All-NBA first team, 2007 League MVP, 2011 Finals MVP, finished with a total of 32,000 points, something like 12,000 rebounds and 3,000 assists and 1,000 blocks. Also represented Germany in the Olympics and the FIBA World Cup, won one of those way back in 2009. See how much I rattled off about my favorite basketball player? Do we know as much about our favorite form of Bhagwan? If I know this much about some famous person that I've never met, probably will not meet, is immaterial to me, how much should I know about that favorite form of Bhagwan then? Now, how can we know that? Through the chronicles that are given in our Puranas and Itihasas. There are two Itihasas, histories. What are they? You've studied them both in Balvihar. Ramayana and Mahabharata. Puranas, there are 18 of them. Srimad Bhagavatam, which you study in second grade, is one of them. Linga Purana, Shiva Purana, Brahma Purana. All of these are different chronicles. Devi Purana of Devi. Saraswati Devi is included in there. They're all these stories. The more we know about this form of Bhagavan, the more we fall in love with that form. Now, there has to be some way of centering the mind on that form, doesn't there? Like, what makes you think about it? Like, if I like a basketball player, for instance, following their career, I watch their games. That's what gives me that exposure. Besides just reading about these forms of Bhagavan, there has to be some kind of practice that is done that gives me that union with that Bhagavan, where I take away everything else in my mind, no other distractions, no other endeavors, nothing else to be done. My focus is simply on the beloved of my heart, this form of Bhagavan. That comes in the form of japa, in the form of a mantra that is chanted. Now, I'll give a mantra, a basic mantra for each of the devatas that you've chosen then, okay? Om Saraswatyai Namaha. You can write it down. Write them down on your phone or wherever. Saraswatyai Namaha. Yours was Krishna, right? Mine too. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. You had said, let me try to remember this. Ganesha. Om Gang Ganapataye Namaha. You had said Bhagavan Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. You had also said Bhagavan Shiva, right? Om Namah Shivaya. Okay? Basic mantras. Now, why, how, where, when, we'll go through. But first, everyone come up, take a japamala from me. Don't be twirling it or playing. I will lose my mind if you do that. Do not be doing that. Respectfully hold it, okay? All right, come up one at a time. Oh, they're bunched up still. Anyone have a pair of scissors, or can we get one from the office area right there? I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can just cut one bunch. You can take the whole bag and cut one bunch. In the meantime, I'll explain some more things, okay? You can sit back down. We'll hand them out in a few minutes. When it comes to this mind, again, why does it give me fits? Because when you try to concentrate on something, close your eyes, try to think about something, what is it that hinders you from that focus that you have to have, right? Just observe the mind for a second here. Don't say anything, simply close your eyes. We'll do this for 1 minute. It's going to seem like forever. So everyone close your eyes. 1 minute, ready, set, go. And time. Open your eyes. What was going through your mind in that 1 minute? How long it was? Like, when is this going to end? What was going through your mind? How long is this going on? Biology test. So anxieties for the, is it regret of the past or anxiety for the future? Or both? Anxiety for the future based on the regret of the past that you had, right? See how deep I got with it? Okay, what were you thinking about? Homework. Nerd! What were you thinking about? How to relax? Did it work? A little bit, but then I started talking again, and then I know. All right, let's all get the Japamala now. Come up here, one by one. There you are. Take it with your right hand. Here it is. No, it's okay. There you are. Here is yours. There you go. Just hold it in your right hand. What we experience with our mind, if we're trying to focus, that was something where the prompt wasn't even to focus on anything. I just said, look at your mind. Anxiety and everything came up automatically. That is the beauty of this mind, is even when it's not stimulated, it goes in that direction. So what are 3 things that we have to control with this mind then? First is, the quantity of thoughts that we have. How many thoughts do we have in a given day? If you had to guess.
More than 100,000.
Somewhere around there, right? Can you fathom that? More than 100,000 in a 24-hour span? Which like 8 of them, or 6 to 8 of them are spent without any thoughts. It's wild. Quantity of thoughts is an issue. Second, quality of thoughts. For every divine, positive, cheerful, productive thought, how many vulgar, cheap, defeating, hateful, greedy, lustful thoughts do we have? Which outweighs which is more? We know which is more, right? Anger, all of this arising. Quality of thoughts has to rise. Third, direction of thoughts. There's a search engine called Bing. They want to get as big as Google. It never happened. You guys, have you ever heard of Bing? You have? There's an ad that used to come on when I was in like middle school and high school where someone's talking to them at a restaurant and they say, hey, this eggplant parmesan is good. And the person goes, eggplant is a vegetable found in this part of the world. And this part of the world is in Europe. And then Europe comes from the root word of euro. And then roots are what gives life to a tree. And trees are making paper, and paper costs this much today. Like they're going in that loop of just jumping from one topic to another without stopping. That's the nature of the mind as well. That it jumps from one topic to another. You're sitting here watching me speak right now, doing your best to act like you're interested and awake, right? Right? Yeah. But you're like, oh, he's wearing really bright yellow clothes today. SpongeBob is yellow. I remember when I used to watch SpongeBob after school. It used to be so good. I used to watch TV eating ice cream. My favorite flavor is chocolate ice cream. My mom doesn't buy it for me anymore because I'm getting unhealthy. You could be going through that whole loop right there. When the mind has to focus on something like it has to now, these different avenues start, different detours that we take. That's the nature of our mind. I'm not saying beat yourself up over it. That's the nature of the mind. Direction of thoughts then must be controlled. Now, with these 3 issues that arise, which issue do you tackle first? Which is I'm not going to say easiest, but which one would you want to tackle first, ideally? The quality, okay, there's a vote for quality then. Same, brothers, okay. Something, you guys are always the same on everything. Direction, you'd say. Quality, you'd say. Direction, you'd say. When it comes to thoughts, imagine the flood of thoughts like water that is going against the dam, for instance, okay? That pressure is building up from a reservoir or even natural body of water with a dam. Quality. You try to purify that water. It's gushing in from somewhere and you're putting these little purifying tablets or whatever you're doing. Is that going to have an effect? You try to divert that water, making it go instead of here to here, but the force is still there. It's not like it's going to change. What do you have to do first? Reduce the amount of water that's coming in. Quantity is the first thing to handle. I can go trying to increase the quality of my thoughts, like Guitar Hero. You guys ever play Guitar Hero? Are you that old? No? Oh my God, you guys are awful. Okay. You know those games, the virtual reality things where things are flying at you and you have to like hit them? We understand, okay, we understand that example? All right, good, see, I'm with the times. It's easier to hit those things when there's a few coming at you rather than a bunch. Similarly, trying to elevate the quality of my thoughts with every thought that I have, if I don't address the number of thoughts that are coming up, it's nearly impossible to raise the quality. Isn't it easier to raise the quality of thoughts when there are less of them? So that's all to say, this one has to be handled first. Quantity of thoughts. Next, what? Quality of thoughts or direction of thoughts? What do you say? Direction, okay. Why?
Well, you're still using the dam analogy. You still have to...
That damn analogy, yeah. Go ahead.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Well, you still have water coming in.
You still have water coming in. Streamlining it literally to one place then lets you purify it later, okay? So channelizing it. Anyone think quality? Yeah? For what reason?
Even though we can use the direction for it, once you like reduce it, it'll be easier for us to like change it from like something like negative to positive. And since it's like smaller amount, it's easier to do that.
Easier to do that. Even if the direction is not set, at least it's positive. So some direction is given by raising the quality. The truth is, even though I gave you this whole test of which one to do first and all of that, what if there was a process that took care of all three at once? How awesome would that be? That is japa right there. That is what this process does. So the way it works, let's mix of it now. Everything I did for 45 minutes was build up. Now we get to the real thing right here. Okay? The way you hold your japa mala is in your right hand always. Okay? You sit down cross-legged. You're too young to be sitting on chairs when you do japa. Okay? So all of you should be doing it cross-legged, sitting on the floor. Now the way you hold your japa mala, it shouldn't touch the floor ever. So respect the japa mala. Never have it lying on the floor, always at your altar. You can either hold it in your hand like this in your lap, or you can have it hanging off your knee like this. Whatever is more comfortable for you. Now, when you do it, the way you hold it is, these two fingers should be out. Let it rest on these three fingers. Everyone try that and show me. Because this finger should never be used when handling a japa mala. This is called tarjani. This finger is used to point out people's mistakes and things. That's not to be used. It represents the ego, is what that is. So using the middle finger, this is the way we do the Vedic sadhana. Using this middle finger, you turn the bead with every chanting of the mantra. So if you're sitting there, take a deep breath in. Om Namah Shivaya. As you inhale, you turn the bead. Om Namah Shivaya. As you do it. Now, does it feel weird, your fingers in this position? Does it kind of feel like it's going to hurt after a while? It will. Anyone play the violin? The first month you played, didn't it hurt like heck? Having to. This will happen like that. It's a growing pain that we all have to go through. It's just the way it is. Now, one thing is, as you get to the end, it's called the meru. This bead with the top right there. You don't cross over that meru. You stop right here, and careful when you do this. Do this in your lap so you don't drop it. You do this thing where you switch it around like this. It's like swimmers. They don't wait at the end of the thing and then turn around. They do the little somersault thing. It's like that. You get to the end, the meru right here, and watch closely. You do the little switch like this, like that, okay? And assuming the same position again. Now, what should I be thinking about during japa? Simply focus on that mantra and that form of that Bhagavan. So at your altar, either have a murti, meaning an icon, statue of that Bhagavan, like an idol of Saraswati Devi, or a photo. Always have that there. So that when you get distracted, open your eyes, see that form again, keep that form in your mind as you chant that mantra again and again. How much should you do it? Start by doing it round at a time. Besides this meru right here, the winner is, who can tell me, how many beads are in this mala right here? You have to look at it to tell. How many? Wrong.
28.
Wrong.
24.
My freshman can't count. Oh my God! No, count. Come on. Besides that top one with the yellow that does not count, how many are there? 27, you win. But you don't really win because it shouldn't have taken that long. There are 27. Now, why is that significant? 27 times 4 is? 108, which is a very auspicious number. That's how much a full Japamala has. So the mini, Japamala mini, like an iPad mini, Japamala mini, will have 27. You do 4 rounds of this, that's 108. Start with 27, either in the morning after you take a shower, or in the evening when you come back from school, take a shower, and then sit at your altar and do it. It's so it starts off your day on a calming note, or ends the day where you just wash off all the baggage of the day with this japa sadhana. So I'll check in with you guys every now and then. Every few weeks I'll come by and see how it's going. And I'd request your 9th grade teachers, at the beginning of every class, do 1 round of Om Namah Shivaya 27 times to start off the class after opening prayers. So bring your japamala to class with you every week. Now, don't have it like just sitting at the bottom of your bag with like dirt from other stuff and leaves and whatnot, okay? Respect it. This is a sacred thing, especially when you do sadhana with it, it becomes even more sacred. We actually had these blessed during the Shivaratri Puja on Tuesday, and that's when we're giving it to you. So make sure you respect it, don't lose it, okay? I'll ask periodically, where's your japamala? You have to know where it is then, don't lose it. So this entire process is beneficial in that it helps the mind. Now, early on, is sitting up straight and having to do this painful? Heck yes. Early on, is it frustrating when the mind wanders this way and that way and cannot stay focused on a single thought of the mantra? Yes. Early on, does it seem like, why the heck am I even doing this? Yes, yes. Don't give up, though. 1 round in the morning if you can, 1 round in the evening if you can. Starting from there, baby steps, see how it helps you with your mind. Any questions? We have a couple minutes left. None at all. That means either everything was crystal clear or nothing made sense. So I'm going to go with nothing made sense, right? But yeah, thank you for being here and take up this sadhana seriously. I'll come to your class in a couple weeks, maybe about a month from now, and we can have a conversation. How is it going with it? What questions you have? What are difficulties with it? Or where's my japamala? You may ask me at some point. But yeah, alrighty. And you have like, what, 4 other classmates that didn't get their japamalas today?
There's only one Arya.
One more Arya. Have her come to me anytime in the next few weeks, and I can give her hers as well.
Can I take a picture of how you're holding it?
Yeah.
Just in case they have any questions.
Do you want me to smile for the picture?
I'm not taking your picture.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, do it.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
Another angle right here.
Thank you.
Japamala by Prada. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Let's do a closing prayer then. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om. The announcement will go out sometime this coming week. 2 awesome events for high school kids. One is March 28th, the day before our picnic. It's a Friday, the last high school hangout of the year. How many of y'all have been to the high school hangout? At least one this year. Sad. You guys should come. Yeah, you were there at that one. You went to 2. You were there for 2. Good. Come. It'll be the last one. It'll be fun at Saket. The other thing is April 17th to 20th. That's the Thursday evening of that Easter weekend until that Sunday. We have an all-Texas high school camp at Mangalam. Only for high school students all over Texas. Austin, Houston, and Dallas. It's going to be an awesome camp. So you all have Friday off, unless you go to, anyone go to South Lake here? Okay, good. That's the only school district that has school on Friday. So the other schools are all off. So Thursday night we'll go to Mangalam, and we will party till Sunday afternoon. So look out for that, okay? All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Yeah.